3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to another episode of Questlog. It's a weekly show about video games, old and new. My name is Tyler Everett, and I'm joined once again by a Brian Maxwell.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Luke Phillips is also here with me.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going pretty all right. It's episode 91, and it's been another week, and you know,
It's a prime number.
it's 2018, and things are not great. Started the week off with some really bad news over the weekend. There was a shooting at a Madden tournament, and 2 people lost their lives, and 9 other people were injured, and it's really awful. It felt weird to just like not talk about that, so I wanted to kind of jump up and address it right away, first thing.
Yep, it's rough. The hardest thing is probably not just getting numb to hearing about another shooting.
Yeah,
Because it's real tempting to just kind of brush it off because we feel powerless and it's frustrating.
yeah. It's not something that I expected, I guess, to have to address on our show about video games. But
Yeah.
that's the problem, is that it can happen literally anywhere now.
Right.
Yeah, that's the crazy
Don't feel
part.
safe.
You would never expect a Madden tournament to be a source of this kind of topic.
Well, we'd never expect a school to be either.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
And that's, I think, the lesson. I think the only thing I'm trying to hold on to is that I know that every time this happens, I think about doing a lot of things, and I was listening to another podcast, the Waypoint podcast, and they were talking about learning how to use a tourniquet and like learning CPR, and like those are things that I think I'm going to actually commit to learning the basics of, because you never know when somebody is going to be needing help, and waiting on an ambulance and that sort of thing. So I think that's probably the best takeaway, is to just be prepared and try to not be intimidated, not be afraid, but be ready. And the second thing is to vote and to use the one power that we do have to try to affect change. So yeah, that's where I'm coming at it from anyway.
agree.
But hey, some good things happened this week too. Brian lost his air conditioning.
Yeah. See? Really puts things into perspective.
Yeah, there you go.
It's hot.
It is
It's
bad
not
though.
hot, but it's hot in my house right now.
Yeah, it's not the worst weather we've had or the hottest weather this year, but it still wasn't great.
It's the end of the summer, so I'm not in any big urgent hurry, but I don't like it.
The rain mixed with the heat creates a lot of humidity. Michigan's real humid at this time of year.
It's just the humidity I don't like.
And
I'm sweating balls over here.
That's never fun, man. My heart goes out to you. I don't want to be in that situation. I know the couple times where my air has been on the fritz has involved me like crawling into the crawl space and dinking around with the furnace, and that's never fun.
Yep. I'm about to take my shirt off and wrap it around my head.
That's how we get the viewers.
There you go. Yeah.
Exactly.
Do it. Oh man, what have you been doing to keep your mind off the heat?
I've been playing some video games.
Yeah.
You know how I
Shouldn't
do.
sound like you.
What you been after?
Yeah.
What you been into this week?
I'm I've got that Heroes of the Storm sickness again.
Yeah. It
feel
it came on strong. It was like a fever, and then now it's just you're fully infected.
Yep.
It's
I'm in a way better place with it, I think, than I have been in the past. Had some losing streaks. Don't really let it bother me. I don't know. I just worry about the shit I can control, and even the games that look like they're going to be losses, I can always work on something, or I can always play better.
it's a tough thing to teach yourself.
Yes.
To have the discipline to let stuff roll off of you, because there isn't a game that I've played where I get more frustrated than in Heroes of the Storm.
You have a say over 10% of the outcome.
And I think that's what, yeah, 10 players go in, and it can feel like, depending on how many you have in your immediate party, the other ones on your team might be part of the opposition as well, a lot of the time.
And I still get frustrated, but, not nearly as much. I get frustrated with my teammates calling out GG after anything bad happens, or giving up after we, like if we lose an objective, someone goes and sits in the core. It's like, really? You're not even going to play anymore? You're done, huh? Okay.
It's frustrating. I had to teach my daughter that lesson today. It was a different game. It wasn't Heroes of the Storm, but
okay.
It was. Yeah, I had her down here. Right. She is trying.
No,
she's
League of Legends,
playing a mean Brightwing, but no. We were playing Uno, and I don't know if Uno's always had like the funny cards in there that are like, there's one that's swap hands with an opponent. I don't know if that's a new thing.
Okay. I don't think that's original.
Skip 4 or like draw 4 in reverse.
Yeah, yep. It's got those. It has a couple extra like wild cards. So one of them is It's a wild card. You trade hands with another player, and then you still get to call the color. So she thinks it's hilarious to beat up on Dad. So anytime she can skip me, anytime she can draw for me, whatever, she likes to hit me with that and doesn't want to hit Mom with that, which I get. But so I let her fill my hand up with cards, and I was holding one of those swap hands cards. Let her get down to 2 cards and handed her that, and she lost her mind. She wanted to quit and didn't want to play anymore. And I was like, no, we're going to finish this game, and you're not going to give up. And if you do, then we're not going to play this game anymore. And you can't just do that when things are hard. She turned around and wound up winning that game because the hand I gave her had like a +2 in it or something, which she immediately played to me. And she wound up winning. But I was like,
it's just like Heroes.
It's just like Heroes.
That's why you don't say GG before it's over, sweetheart.
Exactly. Yep. I got to have that little moment with her already, which was kind of nice.
Life lesson.
Yeah. Yep. I'm going to try to instill that in her early. So, yeah, sometimes we have to teach our teammates that stuff too. I'll just talk to them like I talk to my 5-year-old daughter. No, sweetheart, you can't just give up. We're in this together.
You did face check the bushes, honey. It is your fault after all. Don't blame your teammates.
Yeah. Maybe don't choose the wrong ult at level 10. I don't know what to tell you. No, I've been enjoying Heroes too. It's good to get back in there and be playing Heroes that I haven't touched in like over a year. I'm trying to keep a level head about the game too, and just play it for fun, not worry too hard. But then I'm finding myself falling back into the same things that pushed me further down the rabbit hole before. It's like, well, if your team is bugging you, well, you can get in a team league. You could start doing pre-mades and take it real seriously, and I don't know.
People that take it seriously aren't always better.
Yeah. So I don't know. I've been liking just getting in there and trying to do a request, do some drafting, play our best. Yeah. It's good. It's good fun. They announced a new hero, Mephisto.
Yeah.
A Diablo 2 boss, right?
Yep.
He's got to be coming pretty soon, next week or something.
I think he's on the PTR right now. He's a ranged assassin. I know he's got some globals.
Which one was Mephisto?
Act 3.
He's the Lord of Hatred or something like that, I believe.
Big lightning demon.
Yeah, I think that's the one I'm least familiar with. So I hated Act 3 of Diablo.
Act 3 sucked, but I used to do runs, just killing him. I've killed him probably thousands of times. I had map hack, and I could get down, onto his floor in about, 30 seconds, 45 seconds.
Diablo 2 seems such like a Wild West thing.
Yep. Whittle him down and get my magic find gear on, finish him off.
Nice. What else you been playing this week, Brian? What else you into?
I've been playing Monster Hunter.
We have been playing Monster Hunter.
Yes.
It's a good game.
We had a real good session.
You and Brian have been playing Monster Hunter.
Well, yeah.
Yes.
Important to note. Oh, I think I have a newer clip. I'll try to find that Yeah, it's a little weird because we've been having to go back and forth doing some of the main quest stuff on our own.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really mind that. That's all right, because that's always kind of awkward when you're in a party trying to like sit through cutscenes and that kind of thing. So,
well, just doing the non-story quests, that's fun too.
Yep.
Just, I don't know, go grab some hunts and let's go.
Yep. It seems like the difficulty's taking a big old spike upward right about now-ish.
Yep. I think when we played last week, we killed Rathalos.
Yep.
And then we killed Diablos after like 3 tries. I think that one. That one took us down a peg or two.
That was a test.
Yes,
for sure. He's a cool fight though. That was really fun. Like, it's this weird sand dragon thing with this giant hammer tail, and
yep.
That was
burrows
a cool fight.
And comes rumbling after you and bursts out of the ground.
Is this the one that you said you could cut off the tail and make the fight easier? Or is that a different one?
Yeah, almost all of them are like that. Like, you can break different parts on the monsters, and it'll have different effects. Like, the Anjanath, the big T-Rex that spits fire, you can quote unquote break its head, and that'll like injure its ability to breathe fire. So it'll like try and then fail.
Yeah, I'm familiar with this fire breath.
Yeah. So smacking him in the head's a good idea there. But most of them have a tail swipe or something like that too. So if you cut off the tail, obviously makes that quite harder.
Yeah, Diablos was tough because he likes to bat me out of the air when I'm launching myself at him.
I guess I don't have footage of him, but oh well. Yeah, he's a real piece of work. That guy.
We're high rank now.
High rank, yeah, seems to just mean, hey, there's better armor,
more armor. Yep.
More customization, everything's more expensive, and everything's harder.
Yep.
Which I don't mind. It's good to have a challenging game like this to work at. I'm really digging the Lance, which is something I didn't think would be my thing really, but it definitely is.
You're just a big immobile tank.
Just get to stand there and dare the thing to hit me. It feels pretty cool. Feels pretty neat. And then you're just putting constant damage on them. You can still do cool stuff like cut the tail off and smash their heads and whatever, but it's definitely less flashy. I'm not doing flips and shit. I'm not launching myself up in the air, but
yeah, I didn't think I'd like the insect glaive just because doing flashy flips and shit. It's not really appealing, but it's real fun.
Yeah, you're all over the place constantly on that thing, and you're airborne more often than on the ground. It seems like.
Yep.
Which is it's neat. It's different. I like that we're playing pretty much the polar opposite. Weapon classes right now. It kind of works.
And I have no idea what you're doing most of the time, and you have no idea what I'm doing most of the time because it's real, like it's a real intense affair.
I just get a little notification that says, Butch Napkins has mounted the monster. I'm like, oh, he's on it again. All right, good job, man.
Yep, and every now and again I'll see you, go charging.
Yep,
off in the distance.
That's real fun. I'll see if I can find. I think I had the charge blade the entire time for this session. Yeah, I did. Shoot. Oh well. Anyway, yeah, there's a move you can do where you basically just put the lance down and, even without a horse, you just like you're jousting with a lance. You just charge, and the longer you do it, you'll pick up speed and do more damage when you finally hit your target. But it isn't just one hit either. Like if you hit them and kind of get stuck on them, you'll just keep hitting them over and over again. So if you aim it just right, it can do a whole bunch of damage. I was hitting pukey with that pretty good when I was fighting him the other night. So
Yeah, do you do okay like against things that fly with the lance?
Yeah, like I soloed that encounter. That's the one that gets you into high rank. It's like right after the big Zora Magdaros fight. You had to go hunt or at least I did. I had to go hunt a Pukey Pukey, and a Rathian was there too, and I almost killed the Rathian, but he got away from me. And I
That wasn't the hunt though, right?
What's that? No, it was for the Pukey whatever. Yeah, he was just there. It was real awkward too because like I don't think I was supposed to encounter him. I think I was just supposed to see his tracks and stuff. But I came around a corner and he was just right there, with big giant green dragons right in my face. And after we get back, there's like a cutscene where the handler lady is talking to the commander, and she's going, I'm almost 100% sure that we saw signs of a Rathian. I'm like, lady, I cut his tail off. Like we definitely saw him. He was there. Trust me. Like it was just like, what are you smoking? But yeah, it's a good game. It's a good time. I want to carve all the animals up. I want to make all the armors.
Yep.
I want to see every fight.
Yep. Every time I go into the crafting tree, it's just like, I need to kill all the monsters like 10 more times each.
Yeah. Yep. Can never get enough of their bits. Have they said anything about like if the DLC like updates and things that they've released for the console versions are going to be coming to PC, or is that kind of up in the air?
I don't think anything official's been announced.
Okay.
I would expect them to, at least the ones that make sense.
Right. I wouldn't expect like the PS, the PlayStation exclusive stuff.
Right, like Horizon and stuff like that, but probably, Mega Man and Devil May Cry.
Any of the just Capcom
maybe Street
things.
Fighter.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be into that. Well, the game's still a little buggy. There's a couple mods out there that'll help fix things up. I found a transmog mod that I've been using kind of a little reluctantly because they haven't really been super clear if they're cool with mods yet.
I'm sure it's fine.
They've used some kind of like vague wording when asked about it. So it's basically like, well, we don't have any plans to do anything about this right now, but technically any kind of modifications are against the TOS, and we reserve the right to ban anyone at any time. So it was like
it's kind of one of those. They're gonna be okay with it until it causes a problem.
Until they're not. Yeah. Yep. I mean, there's no PvP, there's no ladders, there's nothing like that. So cosmetic changes I'm not too worried about. If I was like giving myself items and then using them online, maybe it would matter. But even still, I mean, I don't know. I would be just cheating myself at that point. I don't know what I'd be gaining out of it. So
yeah, hopefully that's fine. It's like, are you okay with it? Well, we're not okay with it.
Yeah, that's what that answer feels like.
All right.
You're not gonna get banned today for it. Okay. Well, thanks. Oh man. Yeah. I've been playing very little of the latest World of Warcraft expansion, but I have dipped my toes into it a little bit. God, where'd I put the... Is this it? Yep, there it is. It's cool, like, exploring this new area, but it's all troll shit that I don't really care about very much. The trolls are kind of the goofy...
Are they different, kind of, than they were in, like, old WoW? Like old vanilla WoW?
Yeah. These are different trolls. These are the Zandalari trolls, which definitely have a more, like, jungle Aztec thing going on.
All right.
The people you're fighting are all like these seafaring humans. They're called the Kultirans, and so they're all like pirate navy themed. And these dudes that I'm fighting right here, I think I went first person mode because I wanted you to see it, Brian. When they do a move straight out of Darkest Dungeon, where they hold up like a sheet of paper and like read you a writ of
Nice.
something. And I was like, oh shit,
Like
that
the
is
Crusader.
yes,
Yeah.
that is definitely a Darkest Dungeon
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
There we go.
Nice.
But it's weird because I actually like being in the Alliance zones way more. It's all this cool haunted woods and old castles and way more my style of shit. Like the troll stuff is all jungles and swamps and you know, people talking with dumb accents. It's just a little hard to get into, but
I'm watching you fight humans that are level 115 or whatever, and like that reminds me of just, I don't know, like the weirdness of RPGs where it's like I've killed dragons and gods, but a level 110 human, he might murder me.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
crazy, isn't it?
It is weird. I just finally replaced my artifact weapon. It's made it to level 115, I think. So I'm kind of happy that it lasted that long, because usually you get into a new expansion and, I think I've said in one of the other shows,
Right. Everything I have is trash.
kill a random
You're
boar and
forcing
pick
it
up a
with screens.
dagger, and it's like twice as powerful as the epic thing that you were carrying through, killing dragons and shit. But yeah, this time it was, it took 5 levels, half of the leveling content in the new expansion before I replaced that weapon. So that's kind of cool. I don't know. I haven't really gotten to there's some new features that they've added that seem really cool. There's these, I can't remember what they call them, but they're like these excursions that you go on and you're fighting against either AI or other players to try to like capture all these objectives within a certain amount of time and do it first. It's like a race to like kill enemies, and I think there's technically PvP if you run into the other team. It seems kind of neat. It's a new kind of like a new scenario thing that they have in the game where you go to these different islands, and it reminds me a bit of like the rifts from Diablo, because I guess it's randomized, like the types of enemies and stuff that you'll encounter on the island are different every time. That seems kind of neat. I want to get into those. I think that starts opening up around like 116, 117, something like that. So I'm gonna check those out. I don't know, man. It's still great. I just finding the time to devote to it has been tough. Like when it comes down to it, if Luke wants to play Sea of Thieves or Brian wants to play Heroes, or if you guys are into one of those games or Monster Hunter or whatever, like I would rather play with one of you guys than play with random people in World
This
of
is
Warcraft.
like your 2 a.m. no one else is awake game.
Yep.
Right.
Yep, everyone else went to bed, and I'm still awake.
Finally.
So I'll just hop in here for a few minutes and kill some raptors. Yep, I'm the multiplayer glue these days. So, yeah, but WoW's still pretty good, still all right. And the other day, I had some gaming time in the middle of the day, which I don't normally have, and I fired up that Tony Hawk game out of Kring's library again. I don't know what's wrong with me.
I don't either. I saw a little Steam notification saying you were playing this, and I was like, "What? What is happening?"
It's just, I don't have a game that is just kind of mindless, I don't have anything that I can play that's just kind of like, I'm just gonna do a thing, click some buttons,
Just
It's a
shred
good time
some
waster.
some sick noggly bashes.
yeah, I Noodleflipped my Donglechutes, and it's pretty good. And you don't know if
Sad part is I can't tell if those are real.
not
terms
sure
or
if I'm bullshitting you or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's not great. It's not great, but it's not terrible either. Like, they did an alright job porting this over. I don't know, I just kind of like fucking around on a skateboard, I guess. So there you go, there you have it.
Fair.
Tony Hawk Pro Skater HD, just fuck around on a skateboard, I guess.
Is it mostly just like the open world sandboxy stuff I'm seeing here?
Yeah, you get in and skate for like 2.5, 3 minutes, something like that, and there's objectives, and that's really all I'm doing. I don't think there's any online, competitive modes or anything like that. If there is, I don't care about that.
Yeah.
They used to have, like back in, I want to say Tony Hawk 3 and 4, somewhere in there, they had a really cool level editor where you could make your own parks and stuff. That shit is really fun for me. I like designing that kind of stuff.
Love the ragdoll physics here.
Yeah. It's running like crap. I don't know why. It's freezing up. Anyway, yeah, that's all very true to the true to the original. You just kind of hit the ground and die.
Just crumble.
And blood flies out of you for some reason. Yeah, it's not great. But I'm James Hetfield, you know, running around kick flipping and pop shoving, you know, just like you do. I wasn't playing very well either. You can see me just restart a whole bunch of times because I was just eating shit all day. But there you have it.
Yeah, you lasted like 2.5 seconds that last time.
What about you, Luke? What have you been playing?
Not a whole lot.
Yeah?
Not much at all. But we did dive into that Sea of Thieves a few times this week.
We dove in. We set sail on that, towards that horizon. We did.
Yeah.
It's
been good to jump back into that game and just sink boats left and right.
Yeah. We,
last night we went, 6-0 or something? 7-0?
I think it was more than that. Yeah.
Lost count. But they introduced a new flag, the Reaper's Mark. In which case, your boat is now visible on the entire map.
Reaper's Mark is best mark.
Just a beacon of come mess with me.
Is there any like benefit, or is it just
yeah, you get the PvP.
Come at me? Oh, sweet.
Yeah, it's just come at me, bro. That's all it is.
Yeah, it makes you visible on the map for everybody on the server, and I mean technically there is a benefit. Is right now there are commendations for completing voyages with that flag up, or like hitting other boats and stuff like that. You know, because part of the Bilge-Rat adventure that's active right now.
They'll eventually go away.
Yeah, those will eventually go away.
I think that's more of a, here is the new flag, do these accommodations to utilize it.
Get people, seeing what it's for. It's pretty cool. The first night that we tried it, I think there was like 2 or 3 other boats that had it up. And we all converged. We all managed to come together and had this big fight. We sank everybody. And after that, all those flags started going down. People didn't want to keep that up anymore after that little encounter. So
yeah, the flags start dwindling on the server after we've been on there for a bit.
Yeah,
this event isn't my favorite. It's okay. At least there's a variety of things to do. Like shooting other bulls with the cursed cannonballs is okay. Get your PvPing. I don't really like having to have the flag up while doing voyages. It just seems not original. Like, why bother? Then there's the
people with the flag up.
What's that?
Like, will you guys go after someone with the flag up? Will you see a ship on the map and be like, okay,
oh yeah,
challenge accepted?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Especially right now because we're trying to get those commendations done. So it's like, well, we'll search the island to find the types of cannonballs that we need. There's what, like 9 different types or something like that.
8 or 9.
And the commendations will be like, you know, hit an enemy ship with the
limp ball,
or
a wary ball,
or a ballast ball, or whatever. Yeah, and they'll have different effects on those ships. So it's, you know, it's like, well, we want to make sure we have those before we go in because we want to try to get the commendations, but then obviously also sink and loot their ships.
Right.
But yeah.
I feel the cursed balls have really changed how an encounter happens.
Mm-hmm.
Like, before it was going face to face, broadside, repair, circle back around, do it again, try to get someone on board, kill them and sink them. Now it's much more tactical.
Yeah.
And who can line up the first shot and use the anchor drop ball? Or who can use the grog ball, so they're all drunk and have a hard time repairing and fighting first.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't sound good.
It's good in that it changes up the gameplay a little bit, but it can also really come down to who gets off the first shot.
I was just going to say, it seems like that's putting an awful lot on like landing that first shot, though.
And I've done that before too. I've held on to a shot for an extra 2, 3, 4 seconds just to make sure that it's lined up and it's going to hit. Because I only have one of these anchor drop cursed balls, and if I don't use it properly, this whole encounter could just go wrong.
We had one of the rigging balls, and that was like the last commendation that we needed. And
it took us like a couple hours to even find one.
I found one, and I thought I had this shot lined up, and I put it right in the fucking drink, and I felt like such a gomer when I did it. It was like, oh, there it goes, guys, right in the water. Sorry about that. But we found another one, and we got it, so it's fine. We'll be all right
this time.
Yeah. But yeah, it does change things up. The frequency of them is super high right now, though, too. And I think
that's gonna nerf that.
Yeah, that's part of this event. I don't think those are going to be nearly as common once this event ends. I think it's just to make sure everyone has a chance to use them and see how they work and that sort of thing. Back when I first heard them talking about it, they were saying it's going to be like it's intended to be kind of like a power spike that you hit during the session. So. And it's the thing that you can lose. So I think it was Joe Neat was talking in a panel or something about the death penalty and how they were originally going to charge like a gold tax for dying. Right. And they scrapped that. And now their idea is to let people build up their inventory and have these powerful items. But if you get sunk before you can use them, that's a way to, that's a form of a death penalty too.
Right.
It's not
loot.
Plenty of time. Yep. There's been times Luke and I load up a boat, get it just brimmed with supplies and stuff, and then go shit our pants right in front of the first boat that we see.
We are our worst, and we have a fully stocked up boat.
Yeah. Yep.
When we've got about 10 gunpowder barrels on there and 200 cannonballs and maxed out planks and bananas, we will sink in the next 8 minutes.
Yeah. Yep, it's happened several times. You go in there thinking like, well, we're super prepared. We're ready to take on anything. Here we go. And then it just all goes to crap. But it's
Should we talk about the bad parts of this update? And there are a lot of bad parts.
So there's a lot. They in order to get the cursed cannonballs into the world, they had to come up with a new inventory system, and it isn't very popular with people. Basically, every barrel in the game now, instead of just being a thing that you run up to and press whatever button you press to pick things up enough times to empty it, now it opens up like an inventory screen, and you have to actually click the things that you want to take out of that barrel and put into your own inventory. Long story short,
the process down.
It slows it down
so much.
Yeah,
you can't just run by a barrel and just spam F and pick up 10 cannonballs in that time. Now you have to stop, move your mouse, spam click on the cannonballs, hit another key to escape the menu, and then move on.
Loading the cursed ones into the cannons isn't super good either. You have to like hit tab, switch to another tab, select the ball, and then load it in, and don't select anything else in the meantime, because if you do, you'll have to start over again. So it's clunky, it slows the game down a lot, and they just tossed it in there without really telling anyone that it was coming, and I think that was their biggest mistake. If the game had been like this since day one, I don't think anyone would complain about it, but everyone's freaking out right now because, it does slow the game down. It makes you more vulnerable when you're using it.
Have they had a response? Have they been like, yes, this was intentional, we're trying it out?
Yep. They got out and actually said the right thing, like, hey, we should have communicated this better. We should have told you that this was coming and why. And their
response made a whole lot of sense. It's basically something they had to implement for the future of the game as they introduce more and more items into it. Right. So when they put it like that, it's like, okay, this is for a long-term thing that's planned out, but
it seems like they like to keep things under their head as far as gameplay content goes, but for stuff like this, I feel like there's no reason to keep that secret.
Yep. And they admitted to that. They were like, yeah, this was
UI stuff and that kind of thing. They should be up front with that.
And they have what they call a pioneer program, where it's people that were early adopters and in the original Pioneer system get to kind of like playtest PTR the game basically before these updates come out. And they said that for this particular round, they weren't able to implement a bunch of the feedback from the Pioneers before they had to push this release out. There's also a number of bugs that happened along with this update, so it's just kind of like there's a lot of negativity swirling around it right now. The community's kind of, it's a lot of bad things happening at once. I think that's fueling this too.
I think that's where they went wrong, is they have this whole test server set up, got the feedback that it was a bad system, and pushed it out anyway. And what I would much rather have seen would have been a response to saying, hey, we need another week to do this based on your feedback from our test server. Some of the changes that we had made didn't get such good feedback. We're going to take those ideas, implement them, and we'll release it next week or 2 weeks, whatever it takes.
Yeah, and here's 25 doubloons for your trouble. Sorry that we had to push this back. And I think that would have smoothed everything over and everyone would have been cool and, it wouldn't have been a big deal. But
there still would have been that one guy who took the day off of work to do the content.
Yeah, for sure.
There's always that one person.
That's true. But yeah, I'm way into it still. All of our time away from the game didn't really hurt us at all. I think we're 0-12 or something for the past 2 sessions, or 12-0 rather. So yeah, good times in the old Sea of Thieves. Hey, let's jump into some of that. Or sorry, Luke, is that the only game you've been playing this week?
I want to talk about something else.
Talk about it, man.
Non-game related.
That's fine.
Last week we had to change up the podcast date a little bit, and that was totally on me.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go see a concert Saturday night, and
What'd
it was
you see,
phenomenal. Man? So I went to see Avett Brothers.
Avett.
Kind of, you're familiar with them.
Luke, I've got something to say.
Band.
And it's all vanity.
There it is. They were fantastic as usual. They're great songwriters. Just really good lyrics. But then I saw a band after that. They're actually the headliner that I wasn't too familiar with, called Government Mule. And they were the non-brothers of the Allman Brothers Band, if I remember correctly.
That's different.
Yeah. And they covered Dark Side of the Moon. And it was fantastic. So, if you ever get a chance to go see Avett Brothers or Government Mule, do it. Especially if you're a Pink Floyd fan. They had the whole laser light show and like smoke on the stage. Everything. It was fantastic. Some of the voices were a little off, not going to lie. But musically, they were spot on. It was good. I had a really good time. Yeah. Perfect weather for it. It was like 70 even at night. Just cool to enjoy it.
Tried to sing, like Pink Floyd, If You Ain't British. Might be a little bit of a reach. David Gilmour and Roger Waters are very British.
But at one point it was cool. They were playing Time and had Scott and Seth Avett come out on stage and sing it with them. That was really cool to see.
That's neat.
Glad you had a good time, man. DTE, you said it was at DTE?
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite places to see a concert. So,
it's real hit or miss for me.
Yeah.
I've seen some bands that have just been garbage there. Like, you and I, we saw Slayer.
Yes.
And Slayer was awful at that place.
I don't know if it was...
I don't know if it's just Slayer.
Yeah,
it's not just Slayer. Because I've heard other bands, and they were just trash at that place. Something about the acoustics just don't work for some bands.
We saw King Diamond on the same exact stage not an hour earlier, and he was awesome.
King Diamond was fantastic. Yeah. I'm just saying, that's why it's hit or miss. It doesn't make sense. Like, one band can play and sound great, and then the other band goes out on stage, and they sound like garbage.
Yeah. That's true. The first act that showed up, I was at, I don't know if maybe it's just outdoor venues or maybe harder to get that stuff right, but we were at Freedom Hill to see Coheed and Cambria and Taking Back Sunday, and there was another band that opened, and I can't remember their name, but they didn't sound good at all. Like, they had the drums mic'd super loud and the vocals way down, and it was just really hard to hear.
Sounds frustrating.
It was frustrating. Like, I'm a drummer, man. I love hearing some drums. I love to get the drums loud, but when I can't hear the vocalist at all, that's rough. I can't make out a word he's saying. I don't know.
Maybe weren't meant to.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't my favorite kind of music either. It sounded like if Green Day and Anti-Flag kind of bred and made a band that was weird.
That sounds weird. I don't even know what Anti-Flag is.
Oh, well, Google it.
Yeah, I won't.
I know you won't. That's a callback to my punk rock days, man. Anyway, we might get an Aaron Kring here. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe he'll jump in for the news. He sounds like he just got home. We'll see. We'll leave the invitation open to him. In the meantime, this is the bumper I play when there's news. So here it comes.
Smooth.
It's the news, man. That's just the news, and that's the way it is. I'm trying to stall to see if Kring's actually going to get in here or not. Let's see. I'm going to talk about this weird controller in the meantime.
Yeah.
Hey, there's going to be a Xbox One and PC wired controller that looks all weird, like an old amalgam of a SNES controller and an Xbox controller with a Mega Man on it. That's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
I like that.
it.
Hope it's got a good D-pad.
Yeah.
It's gonna have the best.
It looks like it has just, your up, down, left, and right. Doesn't have any of that. Doesn't have any of that weird diagonal nonsense.
I hate diagonal.
Yeah, the Xbox 360 controllers. Those D-pads weren't great. Love the controller, but
Yeah, the D-pad's not your strong suit. Honestly, even the one that's on the Switch controller, which I kind of like a lot, it's not the best. It's like everything kind of, I don't know. There's a weird movement to everything. Like if you press left, sometimes you can go up or down accidentally. And that doesn't feel great. Like I just want them to be almost separate buttons.
Just a plus sign.
Yeah, give me a plus. Make it very, very distinct, and call it good.
Now, the one thing I really like about this is the price point.
Yeah, what'd you say? $30, $29.99?
Yeah.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
That's good for a controller, especially like a licensed one like that.
Yeah. I don't know what HyperKin is. Is that the company that makes it? Because I assumed it was
Looks like it.
It's weird. It's got the official Xbox branding, but
You're right.
it says HyperKin on it. So I don't know. I kind of want one though, you guys. I kind of want one. I don't know.
I'm assuming they had to go through a certification process to get the Xbox brand on it.
It's probably a good
And
quality
then
controller.
They had to pay some sort of licensing through Capcom to get Mega Man on it,
Mm-hmm.
and then charge $30 for it. It's not bad.
It's got a little Mega Man on it right there with his arm cannon, his Buster Shot, little red joystick. That's good.
I just noticed that the joystick is part of his arm.
Yeah, it's pretty good, right?
I think that's the
Alright,
shot coming out.
I'm on. Yep, I'm on board now.
That's
I hadn't noticed.
Well, there you go, Brian. There you go. Hey, there's a trailer that Luke saw that's good. Moving
You're
on.
on fire tonight.
Yeah, Cyberpunk 2077 had a gameplay trailer.
Well, it's not really a trailer. It's like 40 minutes of footage, right?
Yeah, isn't it?
I would call it a
Isn't
trailer.
it all still trailer? I don't know.
Gameplay video.
Gameplay video. Gameplay
Yeah.
walk. Game through demo. There you go.
There we go. A trailer is
Gameplay
like
demo video trailer.
I have a question, side question. When you're lying to, does anyone ever actually put their real birthday in when they're doing the age verification stuff?
I do. It's
You do?
I don't know why.
You
I
tell
do.
you tell Mr. Internet what your real birthday is every
Mr.
time?
Internet already knows.
But you take the time to be like, oh, I'm not born in... I'm January 1st wherever my cursor stops. 1966 today.
You just use the scroll wheel and just go down. And
Yeah, until
Go on.
until it's definitely beyond 18, and then I let it rip.
I can't logically argue my position. I don't know why I do the things that I do.
I used to, Brian. I used to always tell because I wanted to be like, well, if it somehow like cross references this with something else, I don't want to get caught on the other end of this.
You said you were 41 when you watched this trailer, and now you're 32.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
I can't remember what it was, but something burned me on that before, and I couldn't remember what it was. But anyway, so I did that for a long time, and then recently I was just like, I don't give a fuck. I'm just gonna scroll until it lets me in. And I was always born in January on the 1st. There you go. But yeah, what do you guys think of this thing? It looks pretty interesting.
I think it looks fantastic.
Yeah, they seem to hit the cyberpunk, aesthetic they were going for very well.
Mm-hmm.
I was a big fan of the original Deus Ex when it came out, augmenting and weird futuristic settings. And I did go back and try to play it recently. It does not hold up. There's a lot of gameplay, quality of life things that don't make a whole lot of sense nowadays. And some of the sequels are okay, but never really lived up to the original for me. This
I've never
looks
played
like
one.
It's going to be right up there with the original.
I think I've got Mankind Divided, maybe. I think I got it free through, I don't know, Xbox Gold or something. And, I fired it up and I got like 20 minutes in. I'm just like, I don't give a fuck about any of this at all. And just uninstall.
What didn't you care about?
The setting, the characters, the words they were saying, guns, the visuals that were hitting my eyes. Just, nothing. But this isn't my jam at all either.
Right.
Luke, you're a big Fifth Element fan, aren't you?
Yes, absolutely. It's top 3 favorite movies of all time, probably.
Wow.
What about there he is. There's our boy. What's happening? What's happening, bud?
Hi.
Aaron Kring, everybody. Aaron Kring joined the show. Hey.
Hello.
We got through everything that we played. I'm just gonna catch you up really quick here. If you were present last week, which you were, you didn't miss anything. It's all basically the same.
Or the week before that.
Or the week before that. Or the week before that. And now we're talking about Deus Ex. Did you watch that trailer?
Nope.
All right. Thanks for joining.
It's going to be a one-sided conversation.
You know?
How about this? Luke just called The Fifth Element in his top 3 movies.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Nope. Luke's
All right.
Luke's on point. I consider that to be... I mean, it's not in my top 3 because they're taken up by Lord of the Rings and Star Wars movies, but I could see how you could put it in there.
Well, what if you
I knew you'd weigh
condensed
in.
those into just one massive trilogy? Take up one slot.
Well, you're a...
That's
Cheap.
what you do with the Lord of the Rings movies.
Nah, you're a cheap bastard who
they were all one
doesn't
movie.
differentiate between one film experience to another. And I disagree with you if you just lump them all as one. Because
You can be wrong.
no,
But what if you did that?
no, you can't do that. Because if you want to just
Already
say,
did it.
"Oh, Star Wars movies are here," well, then that counts Phantom Menace.
Well, no, I mean, Star Wars
Nope.
would be original trilogy.
Nope. You want one Star Wars, you got to take them all.
I'm
Just
not
like you
taking
want
that.
one Lord of the
I'm not
Rings, you
taking Last
got to take
Jedi.
the Hobbit.
No, that's not
Yeah,
true. Those are different
that's-
things.
yeah,
That is
well,
absolutely true.
No, it isn't. Those are different things.
Why the fuck did you add him to the
You
call?
invite
I don't know why I did this. I don't know why I did this.
Well, there's no other news and no discussion topic. Like
Yep.
that.
That was episode 91, everybody.
Oh, okay, good night.
Take care.
No, but I prefer not to do the whole like, oh, the Lord of the Rings movies go here. Well, Lord of the Rings is a little bit
I'm
different
with
than
you,
Star
but
Wars.
Yes, because wasn't it all like shot and recorded? Like
Lord of the Rings was all shot and recorded at
the
one
same
time.
time.
The only thing they did was they like cut them all at different times, and then they did go back and do reshoots for each of the films like individually after they
right, because you
realized
can't
they
have a
needed
9-hour
stuff.
movie.
But like the bulk of principal photography all happened at once.
No, I would agree with you on Star Wars because those were separate films.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. And they felt very different as well. Whereas like the Lord of the Rings, partially because they were shot all at the same time, they have a good flow and feel to each of the movies where they like all feel like a cohesive story.
So what is
Right,
the...
same for the Hobbit movies.
Fuck you, Brian.
I mean, it's
Don't you
You're not wrong, Brian.
don't you invoke the Hobbit movies on this sacred show? Don't you do that?
I will get up and walk over to your house with my club leg and kick your door down.
I'll put my mace arms on and strap a fucking piece of concrete to my head and knock
it was like
down.
the wall of a castle.
Yeah, that's what you do in the Hobbit movies. Kring, what is the whole cyberpunk aesthetic do for you though? Is that a thing you're into?
I mean,
Fifth Element,
it sure exists.
Total Recall,
I mean,
Blade Runner.
It's not the aesthetic that gets me necessarily. Like the cyberpunk aesthetic isn't what does it for me. It's the whole like I like stories that take place in the future, but not necessarily like when you say cyberpunk, like does nothing for me. But if you say this movie takes place X amount of time into the future, like now you've got my attention.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like, what does cyberpunk even mean? Like, just give me something set in the future.
I think cyberpunk tends to invoke an idea of like augmenting beyond just like, hey, this is the future. It's like, well, people took tech and went kind of crarazy with it.
Yeah,
took it to its.
I'm thinking you're saying like androids and stuff like that.
It's usually a lot of body modifications and upgrades and that kind of stuff, and mega corporations running everything.
Like four corporations own the world, so we're getting really close on this.
Yeah,
one.
this is the more likely. Yeah.
I hear cyberpunk and I think of Hackers, the movie, where it's just teenagers that are hacking the world.
I don't think it's that.
And I just hate it.
Like their Luke takes it as their literal cyber punks.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, literal.
We got to get those punks. They're hacking the mainframe. They're downloading the viruses into the mainframe.
They're all playing Tony Hawk.
Oh man. Well, this trailer was neat. It looks like a thing that cannot be.
Also, Tyler.
Yeah.
This is a work in progress. It does not reflect the final product.
You mean like so it looks really awesome right now, but it's going to come out and look totally nerfed and be basically Watch Dogs?
Right, because the devs hate us all. Right.
Keep this little line of commentary in mind because it's going to prop up again later.
No, I mean, at least if you're open and honest about what it is, and you say like, "Hey, this is what our vision is for this game, and it's running on super great hardware. We're going to have to dumb it down to run it on consoles." Like, I'm okay with that. But when like they came out with Watch Dogs at E3 that one year, and that trailer blew everybody's mind, they sold it to us like this is exactly what the final game is going to be. And then it came out and it was way different.
Did they though? See, like that's the thing that gets me is I think we're just simple creatures and we see pretty images and go like, "Oh, this looks great. I want this. I'll take that, please." And don't bother to realize that they're going to have to do that with every game that they create.
I feel like if you come out and you present what they presented at E3 that year, but like don't say anything about what you might have to do to get it to run on the consoles, or don't say anything about like, hey, this is like not final hardware that it's running on, this is maybe better or something like that. Like,
are we sure they didn't do that?
They didn't. They did not come out and say
they didn't have a watermark, like, because these guys got a real big old watermark that says "work in progress."
Just
does not represent the final.
No.
Yeah.
They've gotten shit on for doing this in the past. That's why.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't recall that being a thing with Watch Dogs, and then it was a huge shock when it came out, and it's like nothing like what they presented.
See,
it wasn't nothing like it. The basic idea was there, but it was not at all what they presented it to be.
Aaron, riddle me this.
Yeah.
This affects you because you're going to acquire the new SpiderMan game, right?
I am.
How do you feel about puddles?
See, that's no big deal. Like, it's not with
it's
with
a very
Watch Dogs,
big deal, sir. It's a very big deal.
Yeah, I've got a news article that we're going to consume here.
They lied to us. They lied, Crank. They lied.
I don't care about textures. I don't care about the resolution.
now.
I don't care about like what the frame rate's gonna be, or if it's gonna run at 1080p versus 720p. The thing with Watch Dogs that made me really irritated was they sold it like you're gonna be able to hack into anything and do anything, and they show this video that looks like it's gameplay. They don't tell you it's not gameplay, so
You've
I guess
been bottling this up for a long time, haven't you?
I have.
Let it
They
out.
don't tell me it's not
Hold it
gameplay,
back.
so I guess
Let it
fuck
out.
me for thinking that it was gameplay, but it looked like it was in the engine stuff, and they show this whole sequence of like I can't remember how it went. Like you raise these barriers, and the cops hit the barrier, and you get on the subway, and you're on the train. You're hacking into everything to do what you need to do to escape, and then you play the game, and it's just little pop-ups come up on the screen. You just press the A button to hack that thing. Like, you have to unlock the ability to hack bridges now, so you can make them go up and down.
Must have
It
made
just
you angry.
seems super simplistic compared to what they showed.
That's my big worry with what we're seeing right now. Like these types of gameplay demos, the characters like walking very slowly through environments and taking the time to look at every little nook and cranny and notice what the police are doing over in the corner there. And then you walk into the upgrade parlor and have a nice conversation with the NPC that's going to put an upgrade in your arm. And then you get in the chair and strap in and watch the whole thing, and he kind of does some bedside manner with you while your arm's being upgraded, and that all takes like a good 2 or 3 minutes. And I'm going in game, like that's gonna be a guy I walk up to, press X, a menu shows up, I
screen goes
select the
black,
thing,
and
and
then
then I'm
it's
gonna have an arm upgrade, right? Like I like, so that's the thing I'm worried about, is like maybe they're showing this as like, okay, this is the first time that you go see your guy or whatever, and you go through this whole rigmarole. But is that going to really happen every time?
It better not happen every time.
See, I want it to happen every time.
I want to upgrade and go.
Just have it be
See-
skippable. That's all.
There you
Make
go.
it skippable. Yep. Just like you can sit there, you can choose to skip Link cooking his food, but I mean, why the
Why
fuck
would
would
you?
you?
Has anyone ever skipped that?
I don't know. Just like I'm sure you could skip the Palicos in Monster Hunter World cooking for you, but why are you gonna do that?
It's
Yeah.
the best part of the game.
Yeah.
At the very end, the one that goes wow, and he hands you your little chicken dinner. It's so good. He's such a good kitty.
Yep, puts the garnish on that fish just right.
Yeah, it's great.
So just I don't know. I guess sell me what you're gonna sell me. If
So-
they have to dumb down the graphics to get me solid frame rates, I don't care about that. But don't like if you've got gameplay systems that you're selling me, like make sure those systems are in the game when I go and play it. Peter Molyneux, I'm looking at you.
But isn't that what this is
he's
doing
not
right
watching.
now? Like, isn't that? I don't know. If we go into this and every time I upgrade my eyeballs, the doctor doesn't come at my eyeballs with a big like grabber thing, is that going to be like, well, that was gameplay? They were showing that as gameplay 10 months ago.
There
You
will be
know?
people who will bitch about that.
I don't know. I feel like with
rather-
with Watch Dogs, I go back to Watch Dogs because it's the one
You
that's
need to let this go. This is unhealthy.
Watch Dogs.
I'm sorry,
over.
Watch Dogs hurt you.
Watch Dogs is the first game I felt like I can remember feeling super hyped for and then super disappointed by.
Watch Dogs 2 is supposed to be pretty good.
I don't care. I chose not to play it after playing through the first
Make a
Watch
polite
Dogs.
conversation. Go fuck yourself.
You actually played the original Watch Dogs?
I did too.
Luke, I had an Xbox One, and there was not a goddamn thing out for that console for a year.
You know what? I actually kind of liked Watch Dogs. Hashtag balance. I thought it was a fine game.
It wasn't.
I didn't finish it, but it was all right.
Watch Dogs was a competent game, but it was sold to me like it was going to be groundbreaking.
There was a thing where you could hack people's phones just on the street and read about them and like get into their social media and stuff. And I thought that was kind of neat, but after like the third time of doing it, I realized there was just kind of like
Novelty was gone.
it was just like a database. It was just like plug in I think I remember in the gameplay
Mad
trailer,
Lib, yeah.
they used it to like solve mysteries and stuff. It was like, well, we got to get into this club, so we need to hack this guy's phone that knows that guy, because maybe we can call him, we can like spoof his phone number or whatever. And they did all that, and it was pretty neat. Or they tracked down like this drug dealer by hacking his brother's phone and all this kind of stuff.
Yep.
And you could go
None
up and
of
do
that
that to
showed up.
anyone, but no, it was all there. But then you could do it to anyone though, and most of the time it was just like, oh, here's Sue, and she's an accountant, and she's cheating on her husband.
But you couldn't
Okay.
you couldn't then use that information to have a unique interaction with Sue. She was just an accountant cheating on her husband, and now you know that, Brian.
Hey, Luke.
But
Hey,
good luck with that information.
Cyberpunk looks real cool.
It
There you
does.
go. There you go. It
I'm glad
does
you
look,
agree.
it does look neat. I'm just real skeptical that it's gonna play like what they're showing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Same thing. Like right now, we're slow walking to this car.
First things first, like, never, ever, ever in a trailer show me anything slow walking outside of a cutscene, because nobody fucking slow walks in a video game.
Yeah.
It's sprinting everywhere. Show me the game sprinting, or you're lying to me. Nobody plays that way.
I think a few weeks ago someone asked, "What's RP walk?" This is RP walk.
Yeah. Yeah.
That slow walk down a street. You're in no rush to do anything.
I gotta say though, they keep saying it's an RPG. So where's my sword? Can I have a sword? Is all I care about. If I can have a sword in this game, then I'm in. But if not, if I gotta be shooting
You
guns all the
can,
time,
but only katanas, because
Yeah.
What if
it's
it's a
Cyberpunk,
katana?
Tyler.
I'll take it. I'll take what I can get.
All right.
I'll make do.
D-Sex had a sword.
As long as I can cut people up, I'm good. Laser sword? Can I get a laser sword? It's the
No,
future.
Yeah.
a laser
It was
katana.
like a laser sword or something.
That's
Can't
fine.
remember.
I'll be
Like a
cool with that.
lightsaber.
Yeah. Yeah. I can kill drug dealers with a light sword. That's fine.
Yeah, it was the Dragon Tooth sword.
There you go. There you go. Oh shit! Look at that. Spinning out on a van in a highway. I just release the specs for running the game at this frame rate with this high resolution textures and stuff.
This is
And,
probably one of those $1,200 Nvidia cards.
Yeah. That's all.
Would you rather not see this? Like, would you rather they just hold this shit back completely and just be kept in the dark?
No, look, I'm a rational human. I can understand that it's not going to look like this when I get it in my
What are you trying to
hands.
say?
But I'm saying that there's not very many of those, and that the majority of our gaming community isn't wise enough to see that far down the road. There you go. I'll set it.
I personally wish they would just, like, they're running it on super powerful hardware, like, tone it back, maybe, so we can get an idea of what it would realistically look like.
They're showing this stuff off to try to hype people up. Like they're
Yeah,
not
you
gonna
don't
they're not
tone
gonna
back
show
if
it
you're
in
hyping it up.
they're not gonna show it at recommended specs to
I'm not saying show it at recommended specs, but show it at, like, what, okay, so they're showing it at higher settings than anybody will be able to achieve. They're showing it at settings that, like, you're gonna end up needing mods for in the end. Show it at what's realistic,
You're saying a lot of things.
but high end, maybe even. Like, I can run on my system. I can
who's
run
your inside
pretty much
source?
any game.
Who at CD Projekt Red have you talked to? Who's giving you your
on my
information?
system, on my system, I can run pretty much any game at, like, higher ultra settings, but
Ooh.
I'm not able to take this
Humble
game
brag.
and make that game with it. That's what I'm saying. I can't take this system and make a game with it.
No,
It's not
no,
powerful.
Sure you could.
You couldn't take any system and make a game.
Well,
There it is.
Brian, when you're right, you're right.
There it is.
This game is also like probably about 2 years away from being
it's
released.
a couple of years
so
off.
Yeah. We got some time.
You have time to upgrade your PC.
It's true. That's true. It looks cool. I'm cautiously interested in it. I think I like CD Projekt Red. I like The Witcher. This looks neat. I could see me getting
I like
this.
everything about CD Projekt Red except their name. It's a weird name.
It is a weird name. They're a weird company.
Mm-hmm.
They're a weird bunch of dudes. And ladies, I'm sure. Anyway, hey.
Gender saved.
There we go. Hey, there was some Nazi tattoos in a game that got removed.
Huh?
Yep.
Yeah, whoops. Oh, I put the sound up on there. Shouldn't have done that. Luke posted this. There's a survival game called Scum, and they're doing some kind of scummy shit by putting Nazi tattoos as an option for your player character in the game. And the response when called out on this was not ideal.
No.
Not ideal.
That's not how you do that.
No.
What was the response?
Basically, if this offends you, sorry, but don't play our game then, was one of the developers' responses.
I mean, the game is called Scum, so that sounds like an appropriate response.
Yeah.
Wasn't it also like we're trying to show the worst type of people, so it's in the game or something like that?
They were trying to show the worst type of people. They didn't have to go farther than Dota 2 or League of Legends.
Here's
Or
the
Heroes.
reference.
or Heroes.
It's two numbers that are notorious white supremacist symbols, 14 and 88. And I'm not going to go into why, but just know that it's some Nazi shit, all right? And
I've never even heard of those references before until I read the article.
I don't understand those references either.
At first I thought, well, this could just be like coincidence maybe, but it doesn't seem like it is.
It doesn't seem
No.
like that.
No.
And when they were called out on it, they didn't say like, "Oh, this is a coincidence." They said, let me find the quote here. This one of the developers said, "If you are offended by some textures in the game, please don't play the game." He said, "Because if we start removing things that hurt someone's feelings, it will be an empty game with no people, no weapons, no blood, no humor, no expletive, pooping, killing others, eating human flesh, killing animals." And he said, "We're not right-wing, we're not Nazi supporters, we're not even Germans, and the only offending thing here, in my opinion, is calling us Nazi supporters for no reason." So, their
Also, you don't have
publisher...
to be German to be a Nazi supporter.
Right. And
Yeah, that part was really not cool.
Devolver Digital didn't quite echo the same sentiment. They said, "Yeah, we don't condone this in any way, and we're looking into it." And shortly later, the stuff was pulled out of the game with an apology. So, but not a great first look. Not a great, when you find Nazi shit in your game, you gotta just get it out. You gotta just get rid of it, and apologize and be like, "Man, we didn't catch that. I'll do the PR for you. Hey, we put a ton of real life tattoos in this game, and we're studying tattoos, and didn't fully understand the symbolism that was at play there. So we're terribly sorry, and we're working to remove anything in the game that even remotely looks like it condones."
So I guess
Nazi
my
behaviors.
question, obviously their response sucked, but I guess I'm curious, so what is the point of this game, Scum?
It's a survival game.
It's a survival
It's
game.
a prison survival game.
So you're in a prison, and the point is to emulate what it's like to be in a prison?
Sure. Yeah, I think so.
So I guess within
Also,
that...
you can get diarrhea, and you can poop a lot and stuff. And you can eat other people.
I mean, within the context of being in a prison, those tattoos seem appropriate, because that's the kind of stuff you're going to see in prison.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't understand
Would it be
why.
worse for not including that though.
I don't think
Does
anyone
anyone-
would come out and be like, "Oh, you're trying to, mimic prison life," or where's all the Nazi references?
No,
Right,
nobody's
dead
going to do
on.
that. But it's also a similar thing. Like, if people are going to complain about a movie set in the South in the 1930s and people are throwing out the N-word, that's not. It's offensive, yes, but it fits within the frame of the story that they're telling.
I don't think this is supposed to be the analog to American History X. I think it's just supposed to be a survival video game set in a prison environment.
Oh, so it's not supposed to be like a commentary on prison life, but
I don't
more.
think so.
You're in a prison, survive, dummy. Go and
Yeah, I think so.
go and make your shivs so you can break out.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff can be seen
Okay.
as like a dog whistle to that community too.
Okay. So okay.
And it also
Well, then-
isn't just like a thing that you see on NPCs and you kill the bad guys. It's like this is a custom cosmetic that was included in like a pre-purchase pack that was exclusive.
Well,
and
then I
stuff.
will.
So yeah, it's kind of different.
I'm not. I mean, I'm not going to pick it up, but I am going to leave my pitchfork over there in the corner at the ready,
Yeah,
just in
I
case on
I
this
think
one.
the bottom line is, unless you're making Wolfenstein, leave Nazi stuff out of your game.
it's probably a safe bet.
Yeah. Yep. Don't go there unless your game's gonna go there.
Yeah,
Yeah, unless you're like using it as a way to have some commentary on the subject matter.
Mm-hmm.
Like just throwing swastikas in all willy nilly is probably not a great idea.
well, we touched on this briefly, but in case you didn't catch it, people who
You
haven't played.
missed a good segue.
Did I?
Yeah.
Okay, hit me
If
up
you
with a
had-
segue. If you got one, go for it.
No, I'm saying like you could have transitioned from Cyberpunk into this.
Okay.
That's where I was trying to. That's where I was trying to take you when I
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
brought
got
up
you,
the
Brian.
puddles.
Yeah.
Thank you, Luke.
Yeah, well, that was forever ago, and we had to really hash that out. Anyway,
We're going to
puddles.
talk about Watch Dogs for
We had
20
to talk about, yeah, we had to really give it to the Watch Dogs devs. You hear us, Ubisoft? Do you
you,
hear us now? Anyway,
We're listening. We hear
Spider-Man fans aren't happy because the developers took out some puddles.
I got a question. Is the web swinging? Is the moving around in this game gonna be fun?
I have no idea.
you. All reports seem to
Because
say
that's
so.
really the whole point of a Spider-Man game. Is if swinging around the city's fun, you done it right.
I mean, if you look at Exhibit A, you can clearly see that the puddles do look, in fact, very good, and the lighting seems to be exquisite. And then in Exhibit B, everything's kind of like just shittier. So, I mean, they fucking lied to us, is what I'm trying to say, and you can't take this kind of bullcrap anymore.
So what you're telling me is that on the hardware that they had before, they probably threw those puddles in there and ended up with like real crappy frame rates.
When they tried
That's
to
what you're
get it
telling
out
me.
on like regular
And then,
PlayStations,
and
yeah.
then realized,
Standard PlayStation 4, yeah.
everybody doesn't have a PS4 Pro that they're playing this on, so we need to scale stuff back.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite quotes is from the developer where they said, like, it's just a change in the puddle size, it's not a downgrade at all, and there's
Just
plenty
how
of
much
other
stuff is being reflected in the puddles, I'm sure. That
yeah,
was probably taxing.
yeah, and so they just in certain areas where there was like a higher load on their CPU usage and stuff, they just made the puddle smaller and then made them bigger in other places where it could afford it.
Right.
And they say there's plenty of other places with tons of puddles.
Yeah, that part is
I
hilarious. to
just
me.
love that they had to like make an official statement on their official Twitter about the size of the puddles in their game.
Listen, guys, you'll get your puddles.
Yeah, don't think we aren't coming at you with the best puddles in the industry right now. Okay, we got puddles. They're huge. They're the best puddles. It's gonna be great.
I can't believe it's 2018 and this is what we're bitching about is puddle sizes.
Yeah. Well, there you
Well,
go.
we want to empower gamers. You know, we work for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Why did they change anything? Puddlegate. It's called Puddlegate, you guys. I didn't catch that. We got a Puddlegate
Well,
on our
Watergate was
hands.
already used,
That's pretty good, Kring.
so they can't.
Hashtag Puddlegate.
This is why you don't pre-order games, because of this. This is what developers do when you pre-order games.
Yeah,
They
you
take away your puddles.
Pre-order your games, come back, and giving you no puddles. Come back to a puddleless Spider-Man.
Why
That's
do
what
things
you
have
get.
to be gates?
Gates? Oh, I don't know, because anytime there's a
That's dumb.
scandal, it's a gate.
Yeah, because of Watergate.
I know, but
We're gonna
that's the name of the
impeach.
hotel.
We're gonna impeach somebody. It's gonna happen. Trump's gonna pay for these
Right,
puddles.
I'm listening.
He will rue the day he allowed Sony to take the puddles out.
The thing about this game that would be more of a turnoff for me, like if the web swinging and the moving around's real good, I'll have fun with it. But if the combat sucks, that will be a drag.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care what the game looks like. Have you gone back and looked at those Spider-Man games that were on the PlayStation 2?
Oh,
They look awful.
I still got one for the GameCube over there, Spider-Man 2, I think.
It looked awful.
Yeah, it was fun though.
But it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I even played the N64 one. I used to play. I played a lot of Spider-Man games in my time. N64 Spider-Man was good.
You probably played N64 Superman too, didn't you?
I have played that game. It was not good.
I've heard that was one of the worst games.
That is one of the worst games to ever exist.
I rented that from Blockbuster, and oh boy, that was not a fun video game. It was very broken. I remember, like,
A lot of fog.
I managed to clip through the skybox somehow, like the ceiling, like the invisible ceiling.
Somehow, you mean you flew up?
I flew up, yeah, but like there's supposed to be a ceiling where you can't fly up anymore. I managed to go through it, I think, and
managed to go through it by flying up.
Yes.
Like you didn't do anything. You didn't do.
I don't think I did any
Tyler.
special. Yeah, I think I just
you just played the game as intended, and
I think
it
I
broke.
hit the ceiling, but I was carrying a car. Like you could lift cars up and like throw them at stuff. And I'm pretty sure I went straight through it and just like kept flying for a long time. There's a lot of weird jankiness to that game. But yeah, I don't know. I'm sad to be sitting this one out, but without those puddles, I'm not gonna go out and buy a PS4 for it.
Yeah, what's the point?
What's the point even? So there you go.
There it is.
Is this a day one pick for you, Kring?
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
Gonna be getting this right away. Well, hey,
Yeah,
that
probably.
day's coming like soon. That's what, Tuesday, right?
Oh shit! It is.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe not.
Let's pull up the rest of the. Let's pull up the
I'm
rest
not
of the.
ready.
Let's pull up the rest of the September
I'm
releases
not ready
here.
for it.
I was not prepared. What else you
I
got?
thought I had like 2 more weeks.
No, you got like 2 more days.
Okay, then. No, it won't be.
So September 4th is Spider-Man. Anything else on here?
You called
guys?
this list dog shit, Tyler?
Did I say it was dog shit? I just think I said that there's nothing I care about on it. I think is what I said.
When is Forza? Is it on that list?
October 2nd, I think.
I saw one on here that I know Brian's
Yeah.
going to be real excited about.
No, it's not, Brian. It's not October 2nd.
No?
Son of a... Why am I going camping with you idiots?
It's not October 2nd?
No, they're good. They do a thing with the Forza games where if you buy it digitally, you can get access to it the Friday before, which is the 28th. Which
I
is
would
the
say you
start of
have
our
to go
camping
camping,
trip.
but we need your camper.
You really do.
You can just
I know.
drop off the camper and go back home.
I might do that, Luke.
Bring your hear me out. Bring your Xbox. I'll bring a monitor with an HDMI input on it. We'll hook it
Tyler,
up
unless
in the
you're gonna bring
camper.
us, unless you're gonna bring like a 30-mile long Ethernet cable,
No.
how am I connecting to the internet?
We got cell phones. We'll put them on a hotspot, mobile hotspot plan.
Those work great for gaming, I hear.
Yeah, super great, and you'll be fine.
No latency.
You'll be racing in an open world in a sports car,
So Tyler,
getting
allow me to download
trophies.
a 70 gigabyte game on your mobile hotspot connection.
I'll use the work phone. It's fine.
All right. So then I guess I'll start downloading it at the beginning of the camping trip and be able to play it on Tuesday.
Yeah, perfect. Time well spent. Time well spent. Brian, Dragon Quest 11, Echoes of an Elusive Age, is coming to PS4 and PC. The Play Computer, I think they call it.
Play computer.
That's a September 4th release as well, is it not?
Yep. I am absolutely going to get that game when I am able.
Yep.
I also really need to finish Persona 4 before I do that.
Why? But you already finished Persona 5. Why
That is true.
are you going backwards?
It's not a linear story, Kring.
It's not?
Oh, they're all just different.
They're unrelated.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's prequels
Today I learned.
to new trilogies, and they're very different. They're totally different movies.
I can only play a 100-hour RPG at a time.
It's a lot to juggle. Oh no, I'm sorry. September 7th is what I'm seeing for Spider-Man. Not the 4th. So you got a couple extra days there, Kring. You got a couple extra days. I saw Gone Home is coming to the Switch. I didn't expect that. That's interesting. The Switch is just going to get every great indie game from the last 10 years, I think.
Pretty much.
Yep.
It's going to happen at some point, which is fine. I'm glad. But
Yes. Undertale's coming to the Switch too, so.
Yep. Just put them all on there. Anything else catch your eye on this list?
I don't see anything on this list. September.
Of course you don't, Luke.
I played the demo for Transference and it scared me, so I don't think I'm gonna play it.
Isn't that the point?
Yeah, kinda.
Okay.
I wasn't sure how much was like mystery and how much was like the horror, but I didn't enjoy my time with the demo.
Didn't you play a game called This Is the Police?
Yeah.
There's a second one coming out this
whoop.
month.
Yeah.
It's a song, Brian. There's a song where they you know what, never mind. It's fine.
I don't got it out.
No, I think you should finish that thought. I want to hear the rest of this.
Kring was doing a thing. It's fine. Google it or don't.
The song goes whoop whoop, and then it's this. That's the sound of the police.
Yep.
Is the lyric.
All right.
So
That checks out.
yeah.
It's all there. It's all there. Yeah, it looks like a lot of add-ons in.
Life is Strange 2 is coming.
Oh, I missed that.
Boy.
Okay, this 27th. Why are we going camping that weekend, you guys?
What are we doing with our lives?
It's only episode 1.
Oh,
Yeah.
guys,
True.
fishing sim world.
I've been waiting on it.
Let's go
Been waiting on
fishing.
that.
Deep Sky Derelicts looks like it's going into full release.
Oh shit, that was the one
I've got
that
it early access. Yeah, I've got that on Steam. It looks like a Darkest Dungeon clone-ish,
but
but
in
with
space. And derelicts.
Yeah, the deep sky.
That's pretty neat. Well, there you go. That's September for you. And also, that's a show for you. No, it's not. Just kidding. Here comes one of these. It's a topic. It is a topic. Hey,
We were so close.
we were so close. I almost
So
forgot the
close to
topic.
perfect show.
I almost forgot the topic. Hey, the topic is, what's your favorite game series of all time?
All
Nice
time?
and simple. Series, the whole series. This is a callback to earlier where you got to take the series, not just a singular game. Kring. All at once.
See, that's tough.
Is it though?
Because you're going to say Legend
It
of
is.
Zelda, but Legend of Zelda includes Skyward Sword, so you have to live with that
There's
being
a lot of
Tyler. You
Zelda
have to live
games.
with its existence.
You
You also have to live with the existence of the 3DO ones.
I think we talked earlier and said that we could maybe do two.
No.
You could do two. You could say favorite of all time, favorite current, if you wanted to.
I think that's fair. It's
I
gotta
could
be
do that.
Diablo for me for all time. Just
God damn, that's a good choice.
That's a
every
good
game in
answer.
that series has, eaten my life up for like a year. As much as I wanted to say like Dragon Quest or Persona, like I've missed some of each of those games, so
Yeah,
that's cheating. That ain't fair.
my all time is Zelda. Current is Elder Scrolls. Because ever since Oblivion, I won't miss an Elder Scrolls game ever again. It's firmly like the thing that I get the most excited about. So when they
You've
announced,
missed a lot of Zelda games too.
yeah, I missed a lot of the
Yeah.
handheld shit. I've missed Skyward Sword.
Wouldn't say I've missed it, Bob.
Yeah,
I didn't play it.
yeah, it missed me. How about that? Yeah, but I've caught all the main series ones that I needed to over the years, and the early stuff is my fondest gaming memories are all of
Yeah.
the original Legend of Zelda, Zelda 2, Link's Awakening, Link to the Past, even the 3D stuff. It all makes up my entire childhood of gaming pretty much. So I'm a big fan. Yeah, that's for me. What about you, Luke?
I think all time would probably be Portal.
Really?
Yeah, I think
There's
so.
only 2 of them, but
It's
yeah.
so
Does that
good.
count as a
Fantastic.
series, being only 2 games?
I think it does. It's a franchise.
Yeah,
Is it a franchise, though?
Once Portal 3 comes around,
Yeah,
I think if
sure.
you make Portal
Yeah,
and
this'll be
Portal
moot.
2, it's a whole universe. It's a whole thing. It's a whole aesthetic.
yeah, it's its whole thing. Modern,
Well, that
I'm gonna
settles
go
that.
with Elder Scrolls as well. Even though
Well,
I haven't played the card game or the mobile
That
game that's
doesn't
coming
count.
out or anything like that.
That doesn't count.
Anything from Morrowind and on, one up
Yeah.
on Tyler. Huge fan
Is
of.
it a 1-up?
It
It
is.
feels like it's a minus up. It's a minus
It's not.
down. I'm sure Morrowind is fine. When they finally port all of the Morrowind shit into Skyrim to make
Oh
it
my
playable,
god, that's
I will,
never fucking happening.
They'll never
It's
finish
never
it.
happening.
As much as I
Tyler's
a
really
hype train.
want Morrowind with modern gameplay, it's not going to happen.
I believe in you, Tyler.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you for holding out hope. I appreciate you.
You know, I was going to be with you guys for modern and just echo the Elder Scrolls thing, but then I realized that GTA exists, and I haven't missed a single Well, I shouldn't say a single one. I missed them on the PSP because, obviously.
Chinatown Wars and all that. And
No, I played Chinatown Wars. That was on the DS.
That was a
and I played
DS.
that.
That's right.
Yeah, and that was like a top-down perspective again, like the old GTA games. I like
Those
that.
were good games.
They were.
GTA
But-
2, was it like London something?
Yeah, London.
I played the shit out of that at my friend's house back on this original PlayStation. Those are good games.
Those were good games. But once they made the switch to 3, and they got that third-person perspective that we know and love, like, I will never not play a GTA game.
That's a good answer, too.
Yeah.
It's fair.
Yep. Hey, honestly, it might even be my favorite all time as well, because I like that open world style of gameplay. Like, there are lots of times where I'll load up GTA because the soundtracks on GTA are just fantastic, and I'll just load it up and drive around and listen to music and not do anything, just drive around.
That is
and
a good
screw
fucking
in the
around
world.
game.
Yeah.
Talk radio.
We were talking
Yep.
about having a good fucking around game earlier because I booted up Tony Hawk again this week and was playing that because it's just a good, like, I'm just gonna shut my brain off and grind on some rails, dog.
Yep.
It's just really
No,
good
that's
for that.
exactly what GTA. Like in GTA, they, especially with 4 and 5 now, they've done so much. Like, I'll go and just I'll load up 4 and I'll go and I'll watch the Ricky Gervais stand up at the comedy hall, and I'll just screw around doing that stuff. Or I'll watch Cat Williams do his little stand up set. Ricky Gervais's set was better, by the way, but just do that kind of stuff, or go catch a movie, go bowling with my stupid fat cousin, whatever.
Cousin. It's me. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good choice too.
Yeah.
When's have they whispered anything about 6 yet? I don't think so.
They just had that
so.
whole expansion, the night life.
Was it an
thing.
expansion or was it just another update?
No, I think it's like an expansion, dude.
Oh, okay. For GTI Online.
Yeah, hang on.
Hang on.
And I have to imagine they have an entire team dedicated to
After
GTA
hours.
Online.
After hours, yeah. I don't think it's the thing you pay for though, is it? It's just a.
I don't know.
No, it's all their updates have been free.
That's what I thought.
I would imagine after Red Dead 2 comes out, we'll start getting little snippets of a new GTA.
Yeah, I would imagine the same.
Man,
I would assume they have a team working on storyline and all that good
Please
stuff.
let it be Vice again. Please let it be Miami again. Vice City was the best GTA.
It
Sorry,
was.
changed my
It's
mind.
favorite.
what?
Yeah.
Vice City was the best GTA. Changed my mind. I don't know what you don't get about that,
I don't
Tyler.
have a boner for the 80s at all. I guess
I don't
maybe
either,
that's-
but that game was fantastic.
Yeah,
It's a
that
good
game was
game.
really good.
I don't have a boner, period.
Show title.
Here's the show title.
Under the radar.
There you go.
Oh God.
Best GTA game is 5, easily.
You're
What are you
wrong
guys talking
because Ray Liotta's voice work in GTA Vice City was phenomenal.
Okay. All right.
That was I think the first game that made me realize that like a game could be more than just a game. Like it could feel like a living, breathing world.
Cinematic almost.
Yeah, almost cinematic in nature.
Sure. It's not all beating up hookers and stealing cars there, you know? I mean, that's part of it, but...
I mean, that's
Most
like
of it.
90% of it, but yeah.
It's not. I hate that that's a thing. Honestly, I wish they... I don't know. It's a weird thing to say, like, I wish they'd take it out of there, because it seems like it's an iconic thing, but... I don't know. It occupies so little of that game. It's just a thing that you can do.
That was the lightning rod during, all the controversy.
Yep.
It's a thing that you can do because you can do anything.
You also can mow down, countless civilians.
I also can perch myself on a rooftop with a sniper rifle and do nothing but shoot people's tires out and watch them crash.
That's so fun.
It is. It's a blast.
See, the reason why 5 is not the best is because, to my knowledge, there's no cheat code to get rid of wanted level.
Yeah, there is.
Oh, there is?
Yeah.
It's called Get Good.
Oh.
Apparently, Luke doesn't know how to use the console.
Oh,
But, hey, there you go.
No, I didn't even know there was a console.
Yep, there's a console, and you can type stuff in for raising and lowering wanted level.
Oh, shit.
Luke.
Here's my thing. I'd always just sit up like in a water tower and just shoot tires out and then get rid of the wanted level and just keep doing that over and over.
Watch the cars pile up.
Yeah. And then one big explosion takes them all out.
They have a in GTA 5 there's a helicopter that has like a big ass magnet tow thing on it.
Yes.
It's like a magnet you can drop down and pick up cars with.
The
That is
cargo
my
bomb, I think it's called.
favorite thing to do is to latch a car and drag it around with a helicopter through a city and just swinging a car around, knocking into shit. It's real good.
I had to
Like a
do...
wrecking ball.
Yeah.
Recently, I was playing it again, and I had to do a mission with a tow truck. And after it was done, I was like, I still got this tow truck. And I would just go into traffic, stop at the stoplights, wait for a car to get up behind me, hook it onto the tow truck, and drag it around for a while the person's in the car screaming. It's hilarious.
There you go. Well, guys, I think that is going to do it for the show for this week. Thank you all for joining us. Thanks for checking out our little stream here over at twitch.tv/questlogcast. If you're listening at home, you can jump in here with us. We usually go live around 10 o'clock on Saturday nights. You can be part of the online sensation that is the Twitch chat and join such fine folk as who's this guy right here? I'm just gonna pick someone at random here. It's Noah Cook, the cooking gamer. Look at that. He's in here saying stuff about smashing Kindles. You'd miss that if you weren't here live. So go check that out. You can follow us on Twitter at QuestlogCast. You can get the show right at questlogcast.com. Big thanks to Visitor for letting us use the music here that you're hearing on the show. You can find more of their stuff at visitor.us. That's going to do it for episode 91, everybody. We will be back for 92 next week, and I hope you all stay safe out there. Have a good night.
Have a good one.
Take care.
Good night.